Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Trina Clavin, your 4C hair transformation coach. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are a subscriber, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Now in this video, which is part 2 of how to grow your hair faster and longer. This is part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1, definitely check out that video where we talked about your diet and your supplements that may be hindering your hair growth. Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about the digestive system, and we're going to focus on the telltale signs that your digestive system may be the root cause of your slow hair growth. And of course, the digestive system is very, very complex, just as complex as our brain. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to keep it very simple and very quick. Okay, so we're going to take a look at several parts of the digestive system. We're going to look at the stomach, the liver, gallbladder, the pancreas, the small intestines, and the large intestines, also known as the microbiome. So let's take a look and get started with the stomach. Now, your stomach is the receiving tank. Of course, you know this is where the food is initially broken down to be absorbed in the bloodstream by releasing unique enzymes to break down proteins, fat, and carbs. So within the stomach, we're going to focus on 2 areas, the mucosal lining and the hydrochloric acid. So the mucosal lining prevents everything in the stomach from leaking into the bloodstream prematurely. So what happens when this lining is penetrated or compromised? The first thing that happens is the leaky gut. Now, the leaky gut results from a diet laced with pesticides, herbicides, and other harmful chemicals forcing holes in the gut wall, which will result in food sensitivities, allergies, inflammation, brain fog, rashes, acne, and a whole lot of host of problems, including scalp issues that will cause hair loss. Now, when it comes to the hydrochloric acid, it should be very, very acidic, around 1 to 3 on the pH scale. And that is to do 2 things: to kill pathogens and to help break down the foods. Now, what happens if your acid level is too low? There's several things. Number 1, minerals, vitamins, nutrients can't be broken down for absorption, especially things like iron, zinc, sulfur, and water, and water soluble and fat soluble vitamins like the K, A, D, and E, which are required for hair growth. The second thing is pepsin, which is an enzyme that's secreted to help break down protein. It can't be produced because the stomach has to be acid enough in order to produce pepsin. And then the second thing, the esophageal sphincter valve can't close, and that causes acid reflux. So just looking at the dynamics of the stomach, even if you've changed your diet and you're eating better foods, well, if your stomach environment is not able to break it down, then it's going to result in the vitamin deficiencies anyway, and that's not only going to impact your hair growth, but it's going to impact other areas of your body to keep you healthy. So let's take a look at the liver and its impact on hair growth. The liver produces bile, which is a substance that breaks down dietary fat. So if you have liver damage already, or if you're consuming foods that will eventually cause fatty liver, and we talked about that in part 1, where there's added substances to food that will compromise the liver, and that will be high fructose corn syrup because it is processed or metabolized by the liver. And so an abundance of that in your diet consistently will develop fatty liver over time, which will make it very difficult for it to produce bile and to produce the glucose, everything that it normally does. It'll make it very, very difficult. And so there's a lot of vitamins that your hair need that are fat soluble vitamins, which will impact any area of your body that requires fat soluble vitamins. So let's take a look at the gallbladder. Now, the gallbladder is the organ that stores the bile that's been produced by the liver. So for those of you that have surgically removed or damaged gallbladder, it makes absorption of fat soluble vitamins, which is K, A, D3, and E, difficult. And those are extremely important for hair growth. So one of the ways that you can tell if you have not absorbed or metabolized fat, you can examine your stool, because floating stool is a clear indication that fat was not absorbed, that you're passing it through your stool. Now, there's a number of things that happen. There's medication that can contribute to it, or just growing older. I know for myself, now that I'm 7 years postmenopausal, a lot of your body functions start to decline, and hormones start to decline, enzyme starts to decline. And so I examine it. I know that's probably TMI, but one of the things that I do for that is I get bile salt, and that is, it kind of takes the place of bile, or at least it helps it to break down the fat. And this, the one that I use is by Dr. Berg. And I like going natural on anything because I like not having side effects. This is all natural. If this is something that, if you are the type of person that may have gone into menopause, or you've taken some medication that suppresses a lot of the enzymes being released, or if you had your gallbladder removed, do your own research. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but this is what I use. And it definitely helped me, and I'll take it. I don't take it every day. Once I see that happening, I'll take it for like 7 days, and then I come off of it just to kind of jump start everything. And I'll have that in the description box if that's something that you want to take a look at. But I encourage you to do your own research. Okay. So let's take a look at the pancreas. Now, I know the pancreas is one of the things that's most commonly known is that it releases insulin when you are consuming a high carb meal to get the sugar out of your blood. But one of the other things that the pancreas does, it also releases enzymes to help process or metabolize carbs, fat, and proteins. So when you are eating these foods, there's enzymes that's being produced by the pancreas, by the stomach, and by the liver in order to get that food in a small enough molecules so that it can be absorbed in your small intestines. So one of the things that I recommend you do, and I know this is probably TMI, but I do it simply because, you know, your stool and your hair really tells you a lot about what's going on internally in terms of your health. Because if it's floating, then you know you probably is not metabolizing fat. But if you can recognize your food in your bile, then you know that either enzymes are low or your acid levels are low. Something is going on to where it did not get a chance to metabolize. But now if you have diarrhea, that's a different story, because that food is running through your digestive system so fast that it doesn't give it time to break down the food. That's a different story. But what I'm talking about is that you're having a normal bowel movement, but you can recognize your dinner or your snack or your food that you ate, then chances are either the acid levels in your stomach is not high enough, or your body is not releasing the enzymes at the amounts that it needs in order to process that food. Now, if that goes unchecked, vitamin deficiencies will occur, and you'll start seeing hair loss coming. When you comb your hair is starting to fall out. So these are some of the things that you can take a look at and kind of see, well, something is going on with my digestive system, and you can do these checks and balance. And then I encourage you to also go to a doctor and get diagnosed and see what's actually going on with your digestive system. Now, for me, some of the, and like I said, I don't take a lot. I don't take medication. The only medication I take is HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy, because I'm 7 years in. But I like to go very natural. Now, when it comes to my acid levels in my stomach, if they're very low, one of the things that I take is butane, HLC, pepsin, and gelatin, because it helps increase the acid levels in the stomach, and it also has the pepsin along with it, just so that if I'm having protein, that I'm helping. But I'm not eating a whole lot of meat anyway. But I still do this every now and then. I don't take it every day, but I take it when I can recognize the food that I eat. So I couple that with this and lemon juices to make it taste better. But I also do apple cider vinegar. Now I do the Bragg's with the mother. I just like doing that because I get a little bit of probiotics with it as well. But that is my solution. And I like doing natural things because I like being able to apply a solution and not have to suffer any side effects. So if you're interested, I'll have them linked in the description box. I encourage you to do your own research. Definitely consult with your doctor to see if there's something going on with that. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about is the small intestines. Now, the small intestine is where absorption actually takes place. Now, if your digestive system acid is too low, right, and it didn't get to kill all of the pathogens in the stomach, well, when that food goes to your small intestines, that's where what's called SIBO can happen. That is, small intestines bacteria overgrowth can happen. And you'll know that because after a few minutes of eating the food, you start having these pains. I know I had what was called IBS, and I really think that IBS and SIBO is pretty, comes together. And that was from me having a diet of, I would call it a mono diet, where I ate the same thing all the time because I was that girl, because it was easy. But that is the telltale sign. So if you start to have those pains after eating for a while, then its chances are you may have SIBO, but you can go to the doctor and get tested to see if that's something that you're experiencing. So that's another reason why it's important to have the acid level high enough so that it will kill the pathogens, because this is where the absorption is actually supposed to take place in your digestive system. Okay, so once it passed through your small intestine, then it goes into the large intestine. So let's take a look at the large intestines, also known as the microbiome. Okay, so the large intestines, it ferments the fiber from vegetables that our body can't metabolize. Now, a lot of people may think that we can metabolize fiber, but the human digestive system can't metabolize fiber. It is fermented by the microbes in your large intestines. So two things. Eating vegetable provide our large intestines with good prebiotics for the microbes in our microbiome. Now, this style of eating improves our immune system by use of the excrement, which is the short chain fatty acids that these microbes release. And we receive most of our phytonutrients, macronutrients, and micronutrients our body needs to promote hair growth by consuming organic, green, leafy vegetables and whole foods. So I know that could possibly be a little difficult in people's mind's eye because of what's happening in the world. The price of organic foods is so much more expensive, and it can be initially until you make the switch, because honestly, now that I've made the switch, my grocery bill has gone down, and here's why. The foods that I consume today is so nutrient dense that it keeps me satiated almost for 8 to 9 hours. And so I'm eating less often, right? And I'm losing weight. You see, so it's one of those things that once you make the switch, because I'm going to be honest with you, that we talked about this in part one. The chemicals that being put in foods today, it is designed to keep you hungry. It is designed to do that. And it's because when you think about it, the owners need a profit. So if they can keep you hungry and you keep eating it, then you become their cash cow, right? So you can stop that by eating whole foods. And I know a lot of people now are talking about Ozempic. Well, one of the modalities of the success that Ozempic has is keeping a person feeling satiated longer. Well, actually, you can do that with whole foods and get the same results without any side effects. So, but that's just my take on it. That's what's happened with me. I realized that my grocery bill has tremendously gone down because I'm not eating as often. My hair is growing. My nails are growing. These are my natural nails. I actually have to cut my nails down regularly because they're growing so fast, and my hair is flourishing. So I hope that you found some value in this, and I would love to know if there was an aha moment for you with some of the information that we shared. I just wanted to help connect the dots with the digestive system, the impact that it has on hair growth, your food choices, how it impacts your hair growth, and then making sure that their digestive system is ready to receive these rich and nutrient-dense foods that you're making the switch to. So if you haven't checked out the other video, please do so. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and leave a comment. If there's anything that you've found interesting in this, definitely share that. But I would also like to know what type of dietary changes did you make when you started your hair journey. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Be blessed. Mwah.